We are checking out ONEXPLAYER's latest medium-sized handheld, the ONEXFLY. There's probably a joke somewhere about it being pretty fly for a handheld. Best suggestions in the comments please. In the meantime, on with the brief unboxing. First we have the ONEXFLY itself. We will take a closer look at it shortly. Underneath is a user manual which is in English and Chinese. In the box is a 65 watts charger. We will include the correct adapter for your country. And last but not least is a USB Type-C charge cable. Told you it was brief. The ONEXFLY measures around 10.3 by 3.8 by 0.8 inches and weighs around 580 grams. It's available in two colours, white and black. It has a 7-inch thin bezel touchscreen display with a 1920 by 1080 resolution. It does have a refresh rate of 120Hz, which we are seeing more and more devices support. The display itself is good, nice and bright and colourful. On the front are dual Hall effect joysticks with the usual gaming controls. There are 3 additional buttons in the bottom left and right sides of the display for showing the desktop, keyboard pop-up and bringing up the ONEX console overlay software. The joysticks around and bottom corners have LED lighting which can be customised in the software. Along the top are shoulder and trigger buttons with an additional macro button beside each which can be configured in the software. There is the power button and volume rocker, followed by the 3.5mm headphone port. Beside those are the USB 4 port and USB A port for peripherals. On the bottom is the second USB 4 port and a micro SD card slot to expand the storage. Powering the ONEXFLY is the popular AMD Ryzen 7 7840U with AMD Radeon 780M graphics. We know from other products that this is the best mobile chipset right now, and we are excited to see the benchmark results for it shortly. It comes with a choice of 16, 32, 64 gigs LPDDR5X RAM running up to 7500 megatransfers a second. And for storage there is a choice of 1 or 2 TB PCIe 4 NVMe SSD. For communications it comes with Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. The 48 watt hour rechargeable battery lasts around 1 hour 16 minutes whilst running the Street Fighter 6 on max graphics 1080p on a loop. It's above average for the specifications. Also, whilst running the benchmarks, we got a highest fan noise of 62 decibels and highest temperature of 49 degrees centigrade. For our system benchmarks, we are using the data from our recent best handheld gaming PC video. We are testing at 28 watts on system benchmarks, and for the games we are testing 1080p 28 watts TDP and at 5, 10, 20 and 28 watts TDP at 720p. We will compare the results with other similar handhelds for their performance. First in our test is 3D Mark, which tests the CPU and GPU working together. We get an above average score of 26,000 for the ONEXFLY, only beating the GPD Win Mini. Next we have PC Mark, which tests your more day-to-day usage such as web browsing, media consumption and working with large office documents. We get a score of 6,144, beating the Win Mini but not the Win for 2023. Last in our system benchmarks is Cinebench, which tests the CPU performance. We get good scores for both the single and multi-core tests. There's not much difference between the 7000 series processors. For Forza Horizon 5 we are running on the lowest graphics settings. At 1080p we get very good scores, only a frame or 2 difference between the other devices. At 720p we can see overall good scores, maybe a little low at 10 watts but overall they're good. For Shadow of the Tomb Raider we are running on the low graphics. At both 1080 and 720p we do see lower frames per second compared to the other devices. We did do a double check and could not find any reason why, just one of those things. For Cyberpunk we are running on the default low graphics settings with no FSR enabled. At both 1080 and 720p we get good scores overall, not far behind the Win for 2023, which has been consistently the best performing device for comparison. For Street Fighter 6 we are running on the maximum graphic settings to stress the handhelds. Please note for the Win Mini it would not run at 720p. We see great scores for the ONEXFLY, pretty much neck and neck compared with the Win4 2023 results. Overall, the ONEXPLAYER ONEXFLY does well in the comparison with the other 7000 series devices. We did see lower than expected results on Tomb Raider, but other than that, the rest of the scores were competitive with the others. I thought we would do something a bit different for the games and emulators. As all of these handhelds have roughly the same performance, we will show some games and higher demanding emulators without all of the usual individual commentary, and instead present the information in a short summary. The 7840U is great for gaming, as we already know. You can play the vast majority of the latest AAA games on at least the lowest graphic settings. As we have seen from our other reviews, this includes games such as Starfield, Call of Duty, Payday 3, Doom Eternal, etc. The only game we had an issue with was the new Forza Motorsport, which seems to be mainly due to the actual game's performance rather than the handheld. For emulation, we see excellent performance on the more demanding emulators. Everything up to PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast era will work even at lower TDPs and or increasing the rendering resolutions. And for more modern handhelds and consoles, you will see very good performance, with most PlayStation 3 games and User and DROIX running very well. You will see some dips in performance now and again, but nothing that spoils the game too much. Overall, the ONEXPLAYER ONEXFLY is a solid handheld. I like the design of it, just the right size in terms of portability and screen size. It feels comfortable to hold and game on. The buttons are responsive and feel nice to press, though this may have been coming from also using the AYN Odin 2 over the past week, as I found their buttons a little loose. In terms of performance, overall we saw good scores. Not the highest, but it's there in the mix, often with a few frames either way compared to other devices. Side by side with these handhelds actually playing a game, you would not notice much difference. If you are looking for a medium-sized handheld gaming PC, then the ONEXFLY is a definite consideration. There's not much to dislike about the handheld. It's well built, comfortable, portable, and has decent performance. You can learn more about it and order yours today at DROIX.co.uk and DROIX.net. Use the discount code ONEXFLY5OFF on the checkout for 5% off. Please note the code might expire 1 month after posting this video, and the code cannot be used during store sales or other promotions. That wraps up our ONEXPLAYER ONEXFLY review. We hope you have enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you think of this handheld. If you could take a moment to subscribe to help grow this channel, that would be amazing. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you back in the next one.